Taller Cranston, Scott Hamilton, and Paul Wylie are unique in both their skating and their personalities. But together, they represent the progression of men's figure skating from the 70s to the 90s.
I never really had any inclination or perception as to what people thought of me, which was probably a good thing. Because had I known what they really thought of me, particularly a certain faction of the judging, I would have retired, 25 years ago.
25 years later, Taller Cranston is still known as the pioneer of the artistic side of skating, often referred to as Nureyev on ice. As an artist, his paintings, like his skating, are sharply different from those of others, crowded with color, detail, and emotion. His passion and clean lines found on the canvas are also evident in his skating.
I believe in skating without inhibition. And male skating, for the most part, up until the time that I came, I always sort of think of them as being very kind of program maitre d's in a restaurant. They wore like little jackets and shirts and ties and sometimes felt cuffs, and I believed in like liberating it both movement-wise. Like say men were never like supposed to do all that stuff. That was forbidden. You were never supposed to actually raise your hands above your shoulders. Like the correct way of skating was always kind of like this and a lot of that. And
while Taller was the artist on ice in the 70s, Scott Hamilton was the athlete in the 80s, becoming one of figure skating's greatest entertainers. Scott has helped push the sport technically to where we now see 8 triple jumps in a single program.
If I have to look at the 80s and just sort of categorize it, I'd have to say that that probably the blending of the two, doing the harder triple jumps with a solid program, is a logical progression of the sport, would probably be how to describe that era in skating. I've been around for so long that I have to package myself differently every single time because people get tired of looking at the same old face, and I've tried to break it up so that it's not just the same old thing over and over again. So again, just longevity is key, and I've really tried to be responsible to my athletic ability, and I've tried to be responsible to the people that are coming to fill the seats.
Skiing or skating, Paul Wylie finds himself more relaxed and self-confident these days. After winning the Olympic silver medal in Albertville, he's blossomed into one of the top skaters in the sport today, recently winning 2 professional competitions back-to-back.
I won the World Professionals in Landover. I won the World Challenge in Toronto. Of course, I've been flying all over the place and packing my bags and competing all this time, but it's been fantastic for me.
Paul has successfully combined both the artistic and athletic aspects of skating, creating a smooth presentation.
I think that if I had to say something that I brought to the sport, I would probably say that I was one of the few people who tried to do both, all of the jumps, and be true to the music and have a really good program, and to bring a sense of artistic impression to the long program.
So for now, Paul can savor his success at the top of the skating world while taking time for what he enjoys.
Just being on the mountains is such a great place to, relax and get away from skating, and you have to concentrate on what you're doing, but it's like the perfect combination of relaxation and concentration that takes you away from skating and the tour and everything.
As men's figure skating reaches new heights, Paul Wylie, along with Taller and Scott, will have the distinction of helping to take it there.
Man who we just saw is not a bad